Good afternoon. I wasn't expecting another verbal class this afternoon, and that silence we just have is proof that everyone is settling in and starting to go deeper and quieter. But a question came up on the table, and I thought we would address it. However, this sheet of Joel's personal letters regarding the battle is not yours pretty much answers the question, but it is something that we're faced with continuously in the lives that we live. And well, I'm not anymore, but I used to be. One of the things I think that gave me the most problems in living my life was thinking I was living it, first of all, and that I had to make decisions. And the world will insist and make you think that you've got to make a decision about this job or this relationship or where you live or whether you take the trip or not take the trip or whether you go to the retreat or don't go to the retreat. And it starts looking like you're having to come up with the answer to this, of yourself. The question is, when faced with a decision and one is very torn. When faced with a decision and one is very torn about which way to go, how does one make the choice? Oh, just flip a coin, Actually, I say that in jest. However, it is an amazing way to find out which thing you really don't want. Because when you flip that coin and it turns, you get real clear whether that was what you wanted or not wanted. But I've never seen that fail. But how can I get to the place where decision-making comes more intuitively and is not so anguish-provoking? Well, first of all, what we have here when we're faced with this, and it's an excellent question, when we're faced with this, we have a selfhood apart from God, and we think that there's God over here and me over here, and if I don't make the right decision, God won't be on my side. And when we find out that if we turn right, God is there, or we turn left, God is there, and that it just doesn't matter either way, it takes a while for us to really understand that. There's a attachment usually going on with the outcome, or the person wouldn't be disturbed. There's two things that usually come up, usually fear or an attachment to something. And before I go into Joel on this, I turned back to my Paul Ferrini book because he always has some wonderful things. Especially I remembered writing decision at the top of a couple of the pages when I would go through this. And this one is, your attachment to specific results puts pressure on yourself and others. It makes it difficult for things to unfold naturally. If you want to experience less struggle in your life, let go of your attachment to a specific outcome and allow things to unfold organically. Then you may be surprised at how much better things turn out than you expect them to. On fear. When you are feeling fearful, your only constructive course of action is to recognize your fear and realize that you are incapable of making good decisions while fear is present. Begin to work on accepting your fear and moving through it. Here are 4 simple steps. First, recognize. Sounds like Barbara Muhl's script steps. Recognize your fear. Recognize that the solution your ego offers is motivated by fear and cannot bring you peace. Accept your fear, get your arms around it all of the way, and say to yourself, it's okay that I'm afraid. And don't try to make fear go away. Be gentle with yourself and try to tune into why fear is coming up for you. Tell yourself, I don't have to decide anything right now. I can wait until my fear subsides to make any decisions that need to be made. I feel these are very, very practical advice giving on these things. The other one, when you make a choice wholeheartedly and do the very best you can, you don't experience much conflict. Even if it turns out that it was the wrong choice, which how can it be, you learn from it and move on. If you cannot choose wholeheartedly, the best thing that you can do is embrace your ambivalence and stop putting pressure on yourself to decide. Be patient with yourself and learn to accept all of the voices within yourself. You don't have to act on any of these voices. Just listen to them and see what they need to say to you. If you make your ambivalence okay, it will move when it's ready to move. Direction will come when it's time, and you can't force yourself to choose before you are ready. If you do, you will probably have regrets. To push for a decision in the face of conflict or ambivalence is a way of actually punishing yourself. Don't try to force a decision when you aren't ready to make one. Instead, embrace both sides of the conflict. Acknowledge all the things you want about the job or the relationship or the decision, and all of the things that make you want to run away from it. Get your arms around it. Stop holding your breath. Breathe deeply. Take the pressure off. Being with conflict and ambivalence in a compassionate way brings a peaceful acceptance from which clarity springs when it is time. I would have spoken on that, but I think those words are better than anything I could have put together regarding this question. And with Joel, he says, we are, this is the Infinite Way book, we are the spectator or witness of this divine activity of life expressing and fulfilling itself. More and more we become the spectator or witness. We must become the beholder of life and its harmonies. Each morning we should awaken with eagerness to watch the new day unfolding, revealing each hour new joys and new victories. Failure often comes through the belief that we express God or life or intelligence, or that we express God qualities. This is never true. God consciousness is forever expressing itself and its qualities. Spirit can never fail. Our task is to learn to relax and let our soul express itself. Egotism is the attempt to be or do something through either personal, physical, or mental effort. And Joel says, take no thought. Refrain from conscious thinking and let the divine ideas fill our consciousness. And with that, we move to this page that everyone can have up there. The battle is within you. Your higher self, whom you have embraced, the Christ, is seeking ascendancy over the mortal sense. I must not seek victory over outer conditions or persons, but rather let the Christ of me come into ascendancy. That's really all I want to say about that. I hope that helped. Go back into the silence and let the Christ have the final words within us.